Okay. So, we're here now to talk about a little-known game exclusive to the PS4 called Detroit, another David Cage classic. And, well, the bottom line is, did I like it? Yeah, a lot more than I expected to. Especially after Beyond Two Souls, I was expecting quite a bit less. But he proved it wrong a bit. However, I'll put it this way without spoiling anything. He has the same problem as the movie... no, what's the name? Quiet cat. Okay, so as the kind of the same problem with the movie Crash, in that it doesn't teach you against the morals, or it doesn't moralize you on the evils of prejudice and bigotry, and I guess by extension racism, so much as it bludgeons you over the head with it repeatedly throughout the whole course of the story.
It's like one of the major themes of the story. You could put it that way.
Yeah, so... and also another pattern that a YouTuber pointed out was that a large majority of the, like, kind of minor villains... Well, yeah, the villains of the characters of the movie, or the show, or the...
Just let him go.
No!
It just looks like... it's
Okay.
just starting to look bad, you trying to... Fine.
Okay, so... a large majority of the characters in the game that just exist to start shit, that basically just create drama, are fat guys, fat white dudes. Literally, there's
There's three of them.
Alice's dad. There's the Carlos dude that the android like stabs 28 times. There is the Vlad dude who turns out looks like he's a nice guy, but then he just looks like he's just experimenting on them.
Yeah.
It's like
on the androids.
it's like I don't get it. It's like, why do you think
No
that
spoilers or
people?
nothing.
Why does David Cage seem to believe that fat white dudes are the most insidious dudes? Like I've noticed a friend of mine, Damien, and a lot of his I guess movie ideas in the past has had it that a large majority of the bad guys he likes to put forth are bald white dudes. Particularly bald dudes. Maybe it's a Lex Luthor thing, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I know. And it does certainly lack, like I said, it lacks subtlety. It doesn't have nuance like some of the more high quality ones. It doesn't possess much in the way of moral gray areas. It has some, I guess, but throughout it basically like almost seems to say humans suck, and because humans basically suck, and that and yeah, the end, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily it's not necessarily that black or that white.
I don't know, most of the time it is.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that part. Everything else, yeah, but I'm not really sure. I mean...
Like, you know...
Like, I'm trying to think of an example here that's not gonna be, like, spoilers.
Spoilery?
Yeah. But... I mean, I think what shows moral are the decisions you make. There are a few decisions you make where you could very well just kill people. And then you could also spare them. So... when it comes to morality, it's kind of a choice.
There is kind of
as
moral
far as like
areas.
moral like consequences for your characters, not so much. I mean, the story. I mean, there are different ways you could go about the story, but ultimately, the story does have one pretty much solid path. In the end, you always end up with pretty much one of two results, as far as I can tell. I mean, there's like the peaceful branch you can go, or you can go violent, and it's kind of like that with pretty much all your characters.
I suppose. suppose.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Connor has the option to kill. Kara has the option to kill at one point. She does have that. Yes. I won't spoil what part. And you have plenty of options to kill as Marcus as well. So with all your characters, you could end up going like a peaceful route and ending things peacefully, or you can go a violent route and adding things on a more violent note. And see how your results change the game.
You know, another thing that really kind of bugs me is when I was just going through the game and in retrospect is that I don't think David Cage seems to understand American culture and just American people in general and how they would react in this unique playground of circumstances where not only do androids exist, but they're hyper advanced and they're basically sentient. They're fully actualized. Like they can be like people.
Yeah,
and
they can feel emotion. They can have conversation, and you know.
But David Cage, for some reason, throughout no parts of the game, like despite how bad it gets, like because you know, kind of driving into people suck, because you know, even though these androids are peacefully protesting, they just get shot down again and again. Even though that happens, and it does make it so, public opinion is now great. And then, like, even if you're the public opinion meter or whatever of the android, like, I guess you can call rebellion, upheaval or whatnot, even if public opinion is super positive for it, not once do you see any human protesters marching against the cops or the National Guard or whatever that are opposed against them. Not once. You see some cameras like on the other side of a fence going, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, you see the media like filling in news stations and things like that. Like,
but
you
dude,
see that. But
in America,
you are right about that.
In America, if that shit was actually going down, people by the hundreds of thousands would be protesting, especially if they saw that footage of the android peaceful protesting, getting shot down. Guaranteed there would be lots of protesters.
People jumping in.
Even like jumping in the middle of that protest and like serving as like a human barrier, you know.
Yeah, you could potentially
But that never happens because as David Cage shows, people suck. The end, basically. I'm sorry, but I think that's almost basically a like a blatant message through most of it. Although, he says most people suck because some of the humans actually are sympathetic and they help out, you know.
But it's you see very little of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is potentially, like, if you looked at it as, like, on a grand scale and you're like, oh, you know, within this universe, there could be more people who are good towards the androids. Like, yeah, sure. But you don't really see that in the game that much. So I do see what you're saying with that.
Also,
so it does kind of drive home the people suck kind of thing, but
another thing that was
very relevant to today's world, where like you have people fighting for their rights. It's kind of there's a lot of that particular theme going on in this game. So you're not seeing it really from the human's point of view. You're really seeing it from the android's point of view because all the characters you play are androids.
Yeah. So
you're taking place as these characters fighting for those things.
Very much so. I had another thought, but I just lost it while you were explaining that.
Sorry.
Okay, But you know what? Towards the end of throughout the game for the most part, me, Sarah, and Evelyn, who was also playing with us, did get emotionally invested. It did end up pretty cool. None of the characters seemed very, I guess, depending on your path, what's his name? Not
Which
Connor,
one?
Shane?
Marcus?
Marcus. But Marcus can, he can become like a dynamic character, possibly. Kara is pretty static. She never really, what she's prepared to do to help Alice could be dynamic. You could end up robbing a store, possibly killing people. I think,
Yes.
for just the sake of Alice. So that's sort of some dynamicism.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw quite a bit of that and some exercise that as well with Connor. And I'm going to make this part, it's only been minor spoilers from now, but we're just going to go full spoiler at this point.
Yep, spoilers ahead, you've officially been warned.
And if you plan on thinking about getting the game, I would suggest certainly, ponying up for it. Not at $60 though. I wouldn't say it's a full price game. It's not quite that good, but if you find it on PSN for a decent price, like say for $40, get it. At $40, it's a pretty good deal. That's definitely what I would sell it for if I was.
I would agree with that. I think there's enough content to where it deserves that. I mean, you can explore all your options within the game. It allows you to go back and redo those things. There are tons of extras, like you can buy background photos, like landscape photos. You can purchase soundtracks, music. You can purchase character modules. You can purchase all kinds of stuff.
You purchase not with money.
Oh, it's game points. You don't actually put money into the game.
Yeah, with each new outcome or new action that you take with subsequent playthroughs, which get tracked after each chapter, you earn those decision points or something points that you use to buy bonus content, which I like. I think that's a pretty good idea. I liked that, and I also like just the whole after each chapter is bookended basically with the decision graph flow chart. I like that. I think it was a very good idea.
I like that too, because it allowed you to kind of see all the different options that you had that you could explore later on. In the main menu, you can go back to the flow chart and pick up wherever you want within those charts. But the game does recommend at least playing through once without going back and changing any of your decisions, which I also recommend because the results are interesting the first time around. When you don't know what's gonna affect what yet, it's really interesting to go through and play it once all the way through with your decisions. Even if you end up making mistakes, it's worth it.
Yeah. But yeah, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being abysmal, 10 being nigh perfect, I would give this one a 7.5.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was going to say an 8, but a 7.5 is fine. Just fine.
7.5. Also, a 5 would be not bad, but average, mediocre, ho-hum. But 7.5, it was a good, if not decent game. Good. It was a good game. 6 would be decent.
I'm replaying it currently.
Yeah.
I'm going through my second playthrough right now, so
it's worth it.
If I'm replaying it, then I would say it's worth it. I would give it a 7.5 too. Yeah. I'm enjoying it quite a bit, so.
He's definitely, David Cage is now getting back to his swing of things since his last game. I don't know if it's better than Heavy Rain. That's actually an excellent question. Is it better than Heavy Rain or just as good? I would say Heavy Rain is slightly better. It's a little bit better. Not that much, but it's good. It's better, I think. Not by very much. Its
story was, their stories are so different, but I did like that story quite a bit, and it's a game I went back and played several times, even when I got the best ending. I still went back and replayed it.
Yeah.
So, I really did like that one. As far as controls go, Detroit's controls overall are a little bit easier. There's actually options for your settings to where you can make it that way, or you can play it where the controllers are a little bit more complicated. You'll have more quick time events and things like that with the different difficulty. But Heavy Rain, I don't remember Heavy Rain having that option. As far as I know, the controls are always one way. I don't remember.
There was a difficulty setting, same as
Oh.
Detroit.
I did not notice that. I always had it on the normal setting, I guess. I don't know. But either way, I would say Detroit was a little bit easier to handle.
Well, that's all we got to say about that.